Okay, I think we're live.
All right,
Hey,
we did it.
everybody out there in the High Ticket Coaches Collaborative. This is Janet Clark, and I am here today with my mastermind buddy, Justin Wise. Justin has a company called Think
I think we're live.
Digital. Oh, now I can hear myself
All
in the
right.
background. Hey, everybody out there in the High Ticket
You
Coaches
can close that tab in Facebook.
Collaborative.
That's what I do anyway.
Okay, sorry guys.
There you
Um, I'm learning, and Justin is helping me. So we
go.
are totally out of our element here, but we're doing
No,
okay.
you did great.
Hey, well, we're here, and we're only 10 minutes late. So welcome to everybody out there. So again, Justin Wise is a mastermind buddy of mine. We've been hanging out together now for a few months, and Justin's has a company called Think Digital, and he does done for you lead generation and funnel management for his clients, and he is amazing. So one of the things that's been going on in this group is that a lot of people have been expressing their biggest challenge in selling their high ticket programs, and that happens to be lead generation. So I've made a decision that over the course of the next month of December, we are just going to beat this thing to death, and we are going to figure out the best ways to do lead generation for high ticket programs. And so Justin was generous enough to come on and share his expertise with us. So Justin, I'm going to turn it over to you and tell us a little bit about, I told you the subject was going to be organic, and tell us a little bit how you've used organic methods to build up your business.
Well, what I was telling Janet before we jumped on the video was when I launched our business. This was back in 2000, late 2013. Had not done anything business related prior to that. Really came from the nonprofit world, and just made a decision that, hey, I want to do something different. And I feel like this pull towards being an entrepreneur and starting a business. And so one of the things that I had always done was built an email list. And the way I did it was a little bit different. See now, I mean, there are way more different methods to build your list now than there were even just a few short years ago. And the way I built my list back in the day, because in the nonprofit world, I dealt primarily with digital marketing. So all I would do is build my email list and tell people, hey, I'm sharing my insights about digital marketing on my email list. Here's how you can join. Boom. That's all I did for years and years and years. Probably for 6 years. That's how I built my list. And after a while, built that up to a point where, it became a huge asset. So when I launched in 2013, we were able to go from, I was making $30,000 a year. Okay. So put that in your mind, $30,000 a year working in the nonprofit to 30K a month within 12 months of launching the business. And the only reason why that worked was because of my email list. So now, when I look at that and I see people building their email list, in my mind, there's a specific way to do it. And it's based on what we're talking about here today, organic content, providing value-added content. So the mistake I see a lot of folks making now is, especially in high ticket, okay, it's, hey, join my list so I can pitch you. I mean, essentially that's what it is. Join my list so I can pitch you. And what the approach that I like to take is, man, throw as much content out into the world as possible and lead people into your list and pitch them on the list. So it's a slightly different positioning. So it's not so much, hey, join my list so I can pitch you. It's, hey, here's this amazing content. Join my list. Here's the goodies. Oh, and by the way, I'll pitch you my my high ticket program in amongst the goodies. I hope that makes sense. Am I being clear, Janet? Is that
Yeah,
clear?
so let's assume that for some people, they've been doing a lot of social media, but they
Yeah.
haven't necessarily built an email list. So they're
Yes.
starting from scratch with that. So what you're saying is that they need to have something that captures the email. So kind of walk people through what would be a simple way to start uh, shifting those people that are followers of them on any kind of social media to their email list.
So the way that I like to start, because this can feel really overwhelming to people. And really the way that I started building a list, I would still recommend, and we still do this to this day. It's a weekly, we call it the No Spoon newsletter. And the only aim, the only purpose of this newsletter is to add 99% value add content. That's it. It's weekly, it's Friday. I deliver it before noon, sometimes a little later. Sometimes it doesn't go out till Saturday morning. But it's gotten to the point now where people, they expect it in their inbox. They look forward to it. I have people saying all the time, man, I love this format. Can I copy this for my newsletter, for my email list? I'm like, yes, 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 please do it. If you want to sign up, by the way, it's thereisnospoon.co. But I love the rhythm of a weekly newsletter because it gets people in the habit of, they don't even know it, but they're anticipating. And it's like, Janet, if this is you, it's, oh, good, I get to hear from Janet. Today's Friday. She's going to email me. And it's going to be, pick whatever your industry is. You tee off on, for us, it's the 5, interesting things that I learned this past week.
Yeah.
And, a lot of it is around digital marketing. Some of it isn't. Some of it's entrepreneurship. Some of it is small business related. But for the most part, it's specific to the people that we're trying to serve.
Okay, so how do
And
you get the people to sign up for the newsletter?
so what I'll do is there's a couple different ways to do it, right? But the way that I like the best is, seeding we call it the 80-20, right? So everybody's heard of 80-20, the Pareto Principle. We take that approach towards content. So 80% value add content, 20% call to action. It's very simple. It's easy to remember. So what that means is if you have 10 pieces of content, and content comes in 4 different modes in 2 different forms. The 4 different modes are audio, visual, or audio or video, copy, or images. Okay. And you have long form, short form. So there's 4 different modes and 2 different forms. So if you picture you have 10 different posts going out in those different modes and forms, eight of them are going to be like just filled with kick-ass value. And 2 of them will be, hey, go join my newsletter. Hey, go join my list. Because what it does, there's a whole bunch of psychology behind this and blah, 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 blah. But basically what it does is it allows you to build up the relational capital with your audience so that when you do make a pitch, when you do make a call to action, they're not like, who is this person? Because that's a mistake I see a lot of people making is they flip that equation. So they're 80% pitch, 20% value, if that. And it's kind of like getting stuck, with the holiday season is upon us. So we'll be going to holiday parties. And there's nothing worse than getting stuck talking to a person at a party who only cares about talking about themselves. It's horrible. It's the worst. And that they don't care about you. They don't care about your life or your family or anything. All they want to do is what? Sell you on something or tell you how great their life is and blah, 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 blah. We don't want to be that person. We want to be the person who's generous, who's thoughtful. And the other mistake I see people making is that they actually don't make an ask. So they add value, they add value, they add value, but they never actually give people an avenue, a way into their funnel, which is just as bad as pitching too much. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the funnel, because I know you did actually a great Facebook Live the other day on your own page talking about the simplicity, keeping
Yes.
it simple. I think that would be a great message to share.
Yeah, so a lot of my thinking on this has been shaped, obviously, Jana, Chris and Taylor, the guys over at Traffic and Funnels have shaped my thinking on this a ton because, when we first started getting into funnel building, and we call it a digital marketing system. When you get into system building, funnel building, call it whatever you want, it's basically a way to get people from here to there, right? People from stranger to client. You make it so complicated. When I say complicated, I mean like, oh, you got to have a tripwire, and then you got to have an upsell, and then you got to have a downsell and a cross sell, and you have to have a 57 email nurture sequence, and it's exhausting. Not only that, it doesn't work.
Well, we like that message here because we're on the high ticket side of things. So everybody here is looking to promote their high ticket program because they understand, right? They got to put that oxygen mask on first before you can go help the masses.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't work. And high ticket, the reason why we've drifted into high ticket, because we've done e-commerce, we've done info marketing, and we finally landed on high ticket for ourselves. And typically that's who we work with in a client relationship, because the statistics are in your favor. So what I mean is, and Todd Brown did a great piece on this, but basically he was saying like the numbers are in your favor is to basically make your funnel as short as possible, get people into a situation where you can, share your high ticket instead of trying to lead them through these 800 different steps. The economics work out in your favor. So if you have $1,000 offer, obviously that's really low. At least for most high ticket offers, that's pretty low, as opposed to a $10 offer. He did the math and it all, panned out to say it's much easier and simpler for you, your business, your psyche, to keep your funnel as small as possible and get people into a situation where you can share your offer as quickly as possible. So for us, what our funnel looks like right now, as you and I sit here and talk, Facebook ad to lead magnet to call. That's it.
But you don't
3
have a
steps.
webinar. Do you have a webinar in there?
We do have a webinar, but that's only for folks who don't initially sign up on the call.
Oh, okay.
For
You
the lead
really
magnet.
have it simple.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, we've tested a bunch of different variations. We've tested Facebook ad to lead magnet to webinar to call. We've done that before, but I always come back to the tried and true Facebook ad to lead magnet to call. And then we hit them with a nurture sequence if they don't sign up for a call. And that includes the webinar.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess in summary, what I'm hearing you say is that the email list is the huge value there,
Yes.
because then you get to add a lot of value, build your relationship, educate them, and eventually when they're ready, they're going to come around. So the email list is huge. And the best way to build that is by putting free content out there that you do in many different formats and ways, and just drawing them into the list, which is simple. And then either right to a call or to a webinar.
Yes.
Easy peasy.
Nailed it.
That's what I do. I like it. It works. Well,
Yeah.
Justin, I really appreciate it. I don't want to keep you too long, and I don't want to keep our listeners on here too long, but I definitely think this is a great beginning for people could go out and actually make this all happen over the weekend. For those of you who haven't already started your weekend, but we haven't.
Do it.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.